about. I'm sure people gonna have a take about Caitlin Clark. I know I said what I said, and we're gonna see who comes through tonight. Um, just coming at you live in color. A lot of stuff going on. These airways. Um, we're gonna see what's up. See how y'all doing today, and you know, uh, we're gonna see what's up. So everybody's doing. How's everybody been doing? You know, you know, and just see what comes through. I'm out here live now and see how your day been and what your thoughts is, and see how people are. What they putting down, what they got to say. You know, you know. Um, you know. So we're gonna see what's up. See what's happening. Let's see. See what we got going on. We got some people, so we're gonna see what's up. What's up? I don't know. You got to tell me what that mean in English, because God's gift to women. So just a regular humble cat. Let me talk about- Okay, that's fair enough. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, that's cool. That sounds like a pretty healthy meal, actually. Yeah, but that's cool that you did that though. Yeah, I like vegetarian tacos, and I like the shell and the cream, the salsa. I like all that. I mean, that's my outing. You know, I think that's really cool. Yep. Okay. Let's see what we got. I see people here. I just don't see nobody typing. So we're gonna see what we're doing. I'm gonna sit in here. So we're working with. I need people to come up and speak. For now, speak now, forever hold your peace. I know if I say Caitlin Clark's name, somebody gonna come out. Come on out. Do like Puffy. Come on out. Oh, okay, Turkey. Okay. Okay. See, we working with, nobody's came back, so I'm gonna give it a few more minutes and see if anyone's gonna come through. Let's see. What's up? What's up? How you doing? Took a while. I didn't know. Again, I had the delayed, so I didn't know. So some people just kind of been floating. But what's happening? Glad somebody familiar here, and we can get into some conversation. So we'll see. Yeah, it is. I know Marjorie Taylor Greene then came out. Um, that horse face that's the governor of Arkansas, Huckleberry. She came out. Well, if you start treating black folks with some respect, you might not have those problems. And wonder why you feel like the end is coming. You know, you know, Mr. Singh, what's up? Well, there's gonna be some truth to this. I mean, eventually something's gonna hit. All this evil that's going on, all this, you know, you know. I mean, I'm a firm believer that if you keep putting that evil out there, America, why? What's up? Originally, where you from? You know, you keep putting all that evil out there, of course you're gonna have problems. Okay, India. Okay, right on. What part of India? You know, you gotta be careful with the energy you put out here. I tell it all the time. You know. Okay. I don't know because some people are scared. Oh, colder place. Okay. Thank you for clarifying because some people think everything in India is all hot. Mm, I don't know because vacations, it's places I like growing up, and then there were places that I don't know. That's a good question because there are different parts of Canada that I like. There's different parts of um, going to London was cool. Just depends. It's really kind of hard to say because I like different places. I've been on some day trips, which I've liked a lot, but I haven't really done vacations since I was a kid, if I'm honest. Okay. Which president was there? Yes, yes, yes. I've been to England, Canada, and of course the USA. I've gotten around. I did Mexico when I was a kid too, but that was a long time ago. But coming through the border trap, but yeah, I've gotten around. I did extensive travel. I've been to both Canadas too, East Coast and the West Coast, and they are different if you don't know. Wow. That sounds like the East Coast right there. There's some places in the East and the Midwest that okay, appreciate that. Depends on what you're trying to get into. If you are just going on vacation and you book it in advance, it's not too bad. It depends on what part of Europe you're going to. Depends on what you're getting. Like I said, it depends on what you're doing too. Okay. Hey, yo, Ted, if you're still on, give me your thoughts on Caitlin Clark. I ain't heard nothing. What you thinking? If you out there, say something about old Caitlin Clark. Okay. My friend called to right hot chair yesterday. Okay, cool. I don't know where Terry Davis is from, so seeing people and restaurant operatives. Okay. Portugal. Oh, that's fair enough. I'm always trying to learn different things, so that's cool. Okay. 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 Mm. Oh, gotta have permit. Wow. 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 So all I can say is wow. How old you gotta be? Yeah. Okay. Hmm. All right, Tig. I'm gonna talk about Caitlin Clark. What he saying this time? What y'all chose talking about this time? I'm sure he. Oh, yeah. Well. Yeah, but one thing he won't address is this: Angel Reese got the ring. Caitlyn didn't get the ring. See, you can call Angel Reese all you want, but you know what? She got the ring. That's what it's about. You know. Well, I saw a video of her. She was out somewhere, and her outfit was pretty revealing. So she's kind of been brought some of that too on herself. She's kind of been pushing certain agendas too. Now I stand by her as far as an athlete goes. I definitely stand up about, on the court. On the personal side, if she posed and then they ran with it. Uh, so, you know, um, that's one of the problems though. She definitely has overdone it though. Definitely. And, you know, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I did a video about her. But now, you know what happened with her, right? She got them lawsuits. She she got out there and they got her for harassment. That's what's up. She got caught with the dancers or some mess. That's what's up. So wasn't because she still owes them money. She's still on the books. So she ain't out the hook. They're not gonna do nothing with her, just roll her up. Unless they come out and say that she, been doing something strange, but that's not gonna work for her. No one cares about Lizzo like that. She's got pop money on her anyway. Okay. But he has a legacy that people will call him top five. he has a legacy that people will say that because you got to remember something. He was big. He was big. He won all kinds of awards. He won Grammys, American Music Awards, won an Oscar for crying out loud. Successful movie. He could still go out right now on tour. He sold a chunk of records. He's got fans. He was big. So, no, I mean, he's not a thing in terms of modern day, like right now, where people are. But if he came out with a record, his fan base would still, he had a hit with Rihanna from years ago. He still could have a hit. But his era when he came out was when the last of the CD eras, albums, tapes, etc. He sold a lot of records. And he has his fans. He has heads who will fight me about where he ranks to this day. If I do an anti-Eminem video on my YouTube videos, best your bottom dollar, I'll catch some haters, and most of them be from black folks. I'm not going to even tell you how many people turned on me because I didn't slurp up to him. Now he can spit, and he has his impact, but let's keep it 100. If he was white, if he was black, he wouldn't be the half of what he was. You know. Well, it kinda, let me tell you this. Dr. Dre called him the GOAT. Because Dr. Dre made a lot of money off of him. They had great chemistry. They were big together. I'm gonna tell you this. I think that could have happened with him and Snoop, but it didn't. I really do. I think Dre and Snoop could have been like the Quincy Jones, Michael Jackson of hip hop. It just didn't happen. Politics. But he got the Wonder Bread Boy Wonder. And Eminem could spit. He was catchy. Now, and he struck a chord. Now is he one of my favorites? No. But he is, he sold a lot of records. Just saying. And they do shuffle for him. They do. Um, it's always been fruity. The only way, when you have hyper masculinity, I remember, what was it? It was some British cat who talked about it in the late 80s. He said he liked it. He said, but he said a lot of the cats were tender. Gotta remember something. Hip hop is one of the most acting based music forms there is. I mean, everybody in popular music is under character, but hip hop is probably the ones where you notice a lot of rappers going to make movies and they're able to translate to the big screen because a lot of them be acting. So their agenda and their agendas and what they into, that's mass too. I'll just tell you like this: most of the ones that come off tough and rough is usually twinkle toes, and the ones that usually come off soft and light or poppy were actually thugs. So I learned that a long time ago. Don't go by what you see with these rappers, because come to find out, like MC Hammer would have really put hands on you. People thought he was soft and easy. Hammer would, take them. He got vibes about him. He got vibes about him. I wouldn't be shocked or surprised because I'm gonna tell you something. They got an award named after him. He ain't that cleared of Puffy. He ain't that cleared of, and when I say that, he got issues with him. But he got white money that's deep. Oh yeah, I remember the interview. I read it. I saw it. I know. And they were still coming after him like what, 20 years after his prime? Because they always want that booty. They tell you can come back. That's why I hate it when people tell me that you can't come back in that industry. Or you can come back and just be willing what you're willing to do. He had a big time career. He had won awards. He was quite successful. Now he angered some people that I know who thought he was sold out. Actually, he had good spit game. If you watch him, his demos were playing in Poetic Justice. He actually has. He had some bumps before he did all the Lakeside songs. But you know, I mean, he hit. He had crossed over. I mean, when you got Weird Al covering your song, that pretty much says that you blew up. Okay, I mean, that's one of the highest honors you can get in a way. Well, it's not the clothes that make them fruity. They just fruity. Okay. I would like to say the clothing, but they just act fruity, period. They ain't got to do the clothing ain't gonna make them fruity. They fruity anyway. That's not why they like the predicament they're in. I mean, the White Howard could rock a wife beater and some rock some jeans and some Tims and you still know what he's going for. It's not the clothing. Only if the clothing was like, okay, I could point a finger, but their approach is what sets the alarm off. When I'm watching these games and these cats acting and crying, they they're in uniform, but they already, it's what Adam Silver wants. It's a lot of it like that, you know. And I'm not tripping about whatever their orientation because that's their business. I don't know. I ain't the one that's got to be there. He didn't. I don't know if he came out as much as he said that he was fluid. I know he said that. I told that to one of my late aunts who passed, and first thing she said, all that good hair go on the waist. Because if you tell a black woman of a certain age about Billy D even talking about anything like that, he did say he got hit on by Marlon Brando. I'm sure he did get hit on. I'm sure, he was a good looking dude back in the day. And I'm sure he had people asking him to do something strange for roles. And I'm quite sure of it. I'm not shocked. I'm not, you know, um, you know. The only thing I ever heard about him really is he put hands on that Asian woman. I remember that. What's up? How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. That's one thing I heard about him. He put some hands on that wife of his, and then that I remember he was going back home in Beverly Hills, and he had his hands over his face, and that was downplayed. I heard no more about it. That was some years ago. Hear no more about it. He pretty much kept a low profile. You know, he had a career. He's what I call a ghetto superstar action hero because though he did Star Wars and obviously late sings the blues with Donald Ross and Mahogany and stuff. He was a uh being along and I'm traveling. No, he had Night Hawks with Sylvester Stallone. He never quite got the pop crossover. Not quite. He's one of those who should have been in that link between Portier and Denzel. This is a leading man. But he didn't really connect with the white chicks like he did with the sisters. That's just a fact. Not like that. Not like that. And if anybody just on imagery would have been one of them, he'd have been one of them. He would have been one of them. So, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. How's your day been? What's going on? Talk to me. If you're going to come through, holler. Because I always welcome conversation. And think you came through before, but we didn't really get a chance to talk because you left. So if you got something you want to say, feel free. We just having a freestyle conversation. Tell me what kind of music you like, what kind of movies you like, feel free. Sports you like, feel free. Politics too. I know. I know. And I did my video too. I know. I was waiting to see what you said. I know. Oh, I don't know how glad I feel so good. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I couldn't wait. They got their butt housed. And let me tell you something. Don Staley won with South Carolina as a coach, had a perfect record. Gino, um, Connecticut coach. I mean, if you're undefeated, that should be top page news. Why are they slurping and crying over this white girl like that? That don't, I mean, do you know how hard it is to go undefeated in any sport? And they treating it like, yeah, you're undefeated. That's nice. You got the title, but we wanted Caitlin. I mean, this shows you how fixed and the desperation is. I mean, it's sad. And then you wonder why people don't want to care about sports because it's not about wins and losses. It's about agendas. That's what's up. Oh, you're gonna get some comments about it. You're gonna definitely get some comments. I'm cracking up. Well, they saying go on to WNBA. We'll see. All right. She was, because you gotta remember something. They pushing the agenda for her to. Well, I think she respected her as a player. You know, call her one of the goats. I mean, she has to say something in the context that the woman did bring awareness to the game. She was successful. She broke records. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, hey, she's a great player who, made us, we acknowledge that. But at the same time, we undefeated and we won it all. So, you know, and I don't think you have to go more than that. You can tip your cap and show sportsman like show, you know, but see the thing about it is there's a difference between showing sportsman like and then having to hold your ankles and plead and I mean, college basketball was going on before Caitlin Clark are going after. You know, I'm not saying she can't play. I can't say she ain't talented. I say she couldn't shoot and all that. I give her that. But the way some of these people were going on about her, Paul Pierce talking about the greatest woman or man. Uh, well, that's true. Sure. I ain't lying. I'm like, come on now. Sure. I mean, y'all just Oh, Caitlin. Oh, I'm like, will y'all stop? Hey, come on. I mean, it gets to be nauseating after a while. I mean, because they could say what they want to say. Serena Williams didn't dominate and win like she did, they wouldn't be talking about her, okay? I heard them try to say, well, Tiger didn't win. Come on now. We don't do runner up in America. You don't do run up in America. They selective with this stuff. It's the only time when they like somebody white and they finish in second place that they sit there and they go, okay, okay. They have do that though. They actually did that with Jordan when he lost to Isaiah Thomas too. They go, oh, if they want to put money on you, if they think you're money, then that's when they get selective about runner up. But usually, 9.5 out of 10, you finish the second place, that may as well be in 99th place. They selective with who they want to be about. It depends on who they want. So, I mean, she goes to WNBA. It'll be interesting how they play her. I mean, I think she should consider going to Ice Cube's league, though. I really would consider that. Milk it for what it's worth. Because if you get banged up by one of them butch girls in there, you ain't gonna last long in the WNBA. They gonna definitely clothesline you. You probably get a couple of Will Smith two pieces in there too. I'm just keeping it 100. Oh yeah, them black girls who play for Utah because that white coach had to come out and speak about that. Oh yeah, listen, they are male and female. I'm not. If you played in Duke and you got all them white kids out the floor, what do you think they saying? I mean, come on now. You know, I mean, people stop acting like people so enlightened. They think people own. They think they own you. Shoot, NBA fans are racist. NFL fans are racist. Major League Baseball fans are racist. Hockey fans are racist. Those soccer fans are racist. Tennis fans too. Golf too. What? Dang, they all are. Because you know why? Because they ain't got nobody black to answer to. Well, I think all them fans are the worst. You just depend on where you are. Because I saw that video. I did that video about. I don't know if you saw my video about Dean Kane. I saw the thing on X, and they read the Black National Anthem, and the white dude had his fingers in his ears, and Dean King was like, "We don't have black anthems, we have Asian anthems, we have one national anthem." Like, yeah, whatever. You don't know how it is. Harlem fans is worse because they're not cultured. Well, yeah, it only gets worse because people get to wear their ignorance like a badge of honor, front and center, which they do in America anyway. I mean, think about it. What other country do you know has born and bred citizens? And when they saw Jackie Robinson, they cat called and had all kinds of slurs. I mean, think about it. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And a lot of times when you watch Russell Westbrook, he's got to get into it. And LeBron's got into it, and they've said some real vile stuff. I've seen it. I've seen it. See, this is why it's a racist country. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If black folks own stuff, there was a real balance of power. They all bad, man. They all bad. I'm not labeling. I'm not gonna say one is worse than the other. They all bad to me. Because until you have black ownership and some say, you're gonna have it universal. They have no reason to respect. They look at black athletes as playing in the field. That's what they're looked at. If you're on LeBron James and you can sit there and snuggle and cuddle with him while he's on the side, you know what he's gonna do. He gonna yes, master Retta, please. Everybody knows it. They just don't tell the truth. That's all. Told you before, David Stern wanted to sell the NBA a certain way, got it a certain way, is a certain way. Adam Silver, they follow legacy. Roger Goodell, all of them. You know, it's how you fit in, get where you fit in. Oh. And the agendas that you see is par for the course. That's all. Yeah, well, racist fans will listen to black music. You do know who buys more hip hop? White folks. Growing up, I know white folks who love Michael Jackson, love Prince, love Lionel Rich, love black art. You mentioned they still say the N word, and they still uh, don't don't look at them as black. Just think that they're entertainers. Nothing new. Don't mean a thing. Don't mean a thing. Because it's an illusion. Stuff they own you. So it don't really matter. You got to go through some stuff to really get it. And when you get it, once you really see it, then you're like, oh yeah, always, always. Or they'll say he's a good one. He's not like the rest of them. He's a good one. I know the Beyonce thing right now with all the country thing. You know, they're like, why are you making a big deal about it? Why you won't do country? You know, and let's be realistic about something. Can we say something for a moment? What is country music exactly? Because country in America means you're part of America. So what is country? What does that mean anyway? That don't even make sense. That's a oxymoronic term if there actually was one. Country. She does. She does. And she's trying to, again, she's trying anything she can, you know. Well, she is part of what she does, though. I mean, that's what she does. She knows her appeal. She has crossover appeal. Why? Give me a reason why. I don't understand why you would be. I mean, her husband told you that we're past healing, and he slurped up to Roger Goodell. I mean, why? Look, she didn't won 32 Grammy Awards, okay? She's been nominated. She gets called Queen Bee. She has crazy budget. She's been the most important black crossover pop act the last 20 plus years. Just because she says she's the Creole hood rat and she says certain things or what have you doesn't mean that she's not trying to be with the pop market. Just because she does uniformations and stuff, alluding to Black Panther or alluding to Michael Jackson or something like that doesn't mean that she's not. No, she's been geared towards pop crossover her career, solo career, movies, soundtracks. She's tried real hard. When would you think that she's gonna morph into like last night or have a Aretha thing? Really? Really? Okay. I'm I think it's only because I was aware of her, you know. You ever have people that you kind of grew up with, but you weren't really trying to grow up with them, but they just kind of always be in your rear view mirror, or she's one of them. She's one of them. Because I remember Living Color, I remember Anaconda, I remember Selena. Then when she got with Puffy and that whole thing, and then everything else, and because I was like, oh yeah, no, man, I expect most of them to be racist. I just do. They go into a entertainment industry, which is fantasy, but it ain't that much fantasy. Um, they don't have any black bosses. See, I'm gonna keep sounding like a James Brown ruck until you hear me, but I'm gonna say it again. Unless you have black ownership, management, or something, you're allowed to be two things: either as racist as you want to be, or self-hated if you want to be. hmm I go for black folk too. Self-hating, tap dancing, shuffling, cooning, bucking, clucking, chucking. Yeah, all that. Because if you don't have anyone black to answer to or don't see anyone representing all that they get away with in Hollywood, they allow that. They have no morals or nothing. So yeah, it's like oh. Yes, boss. Yes, yes. We feeling how we feeling, boss. That's what they do. That's what they become. I ain't lying. Think I'm lying. You hear these rappers go, hoo doo doo. Well, I mean, what do you think? Shh. You can get in the booth and call and say the N word all day. You can have a fake gun just shooting blanks, calling black women bees, all kinds of skanks. You do that. You can talk all the garbage you trash you want. You can do that. Yeah, because they get a new crew come in. That's why. They get them younger, dumber, and easier to manipulate and cheaper. That's all. It's like bowling pins. Out with the old ones, bringing some new ones. That's all they do. They don't get rid of them. They just get newer, younger, more manipulative ones, less pay. That's all. They ain't getting rid of it. I know Coon Lick would because he writes for the master. That's why. Sometimes he'll make sense, but it's so few and far in between. The only thing that he could knock her on is probably sexualizing herself. Explain how this time is up. Explain. Because I saw him dissing Hillary Clinton last week, and he tap dancing low key for Trump. But how's his time up though? Do tell. I want to know. I want to hear this one. McPhee has replaced him what? He's taking over his job and he's gonna replace him with Shannon Sharp. Is that what you're telling me? Oh well, that's not really surprising. Even though I don't feel McAfee though. I think he boring to me. He sounds like one of those product pitchmen that if you go to one of them corporate board meetings, he'll say, "Let's get in here and let's get the ratings up." And I don't really feel that he doesn't really connect with me sports wise. I just don't. I just don't. I mean, he has his place, but I just don't. But he got hooked up anyway because he had Aaron Rodgers on him. Aaron slurped him up and white popularity. He got fired. I didn't even know about that. Did he get fired? Do fill in the blanks, cause see, first of all, oh, he quit because of people like yourself talking about you ain't done nothing. You fish your price in it for like 30 years. You got that ring and you stop. That's why he quit. But he had options though. He had white options. He wasn't gonna get fired either. He had white options. Mm, if he gets Arkansas to a Sweet 16 or something, that buys him what 5, 10 years. I'm like, whatever. You did, but the thing is, I'm not disputing you, but listen, white boy college basketball, if he wins one ring, he done bought him a 20-year mortgage, okay? Please. just like Rick Pitino. Now, Rick Pitino can coach college ball, but all his shenanigans, Italian boys get away with it. Calipari did, but Calipari, if he wins, I guess he may have. He probably did. I don't know. I wasn't paying him no mind though, because he got white privilege. Now, if you told me he was coming to the NBA, I might have to drop the phone. I'm like, that ain't gonna ever happen. He ain't stupid. He'll hustle in college. They got money for him. I think it's because Kentucky had expectations. They probably told him, look, you got to go. You're getting senile. You're getting too old. You got to win. And he didn't at least get to the Final Four. That's what's up. Yeah, it's a tough gig, though, because everybody don't want that gig, though. That's a tough gig, especially if you ain't proven. So whoever gets that gig better have a resume. We'll see. Well, yeah. And see, this turkey wasn't even Final Four bust. He was like 32 and bust. I mean, come on now. I mean, Duke got further than Kentucky this year. No one is even sweating Duke like that. NC State's in the finals. I mean, you can't coach a team like that and just keep getting knocked out. They're gonna start pulling your coat. That's all that happened. Believe me, he got to the Final Four and he was like, "Oh, we were close." Oh, bottom of 2 or 3 years, but your butt getting knocked out early. Mm-mm, mm-mm. And he been there over a decade. I mean, but you could do that in college basketball, I'll tell you. Yeah, but again, he's living off a past rep, though. You know, he ain't stupid, though. He ain't stupid. That's one thing I'll give him. He may have listened to the live stream. Not very funny, though. But I just think that they basically said, "What you gonna do?" And you know, they'll never come out and say they fired him, which they basically told him, "You got to go." So we're sucking. Well, I mean, one thing about college basketball is it's simple. Sometimes you got bad matchups. Sometimes you go against certain teams, i.e., on your side could be injuries, or you have off night, or you just play against the wrong kind of team. That's usually what happens in college basketball. Sometimes you play against a team that just has your number. That's the only thing I can always use to say because um, usually in college sports, team that's really the team, they just got your number. That's all. And sometimes you just lose different ways. You know, I know it's that way in college football for sure. Sometimes the team just got your number. You can do everything 9 out of 10 right, but that's the one thing that they can just expose. And I think that's the only thing I can say. You know. And sometimes you got to tip your cap because you lost to somebody better. It's just kind of like when I looked at one thing I'm going to say about Iowa and just take Caitlin Clark, all that out of it, right? Um, um, if you watch Iowa, for instance, they got helped out by UConn with the refs. They got exposed last night. She shot. She got desperate. They have not really had what you call an easy run this year. So pressure was on, defenses were loaded, you know. And sometimes you just play against a team that's got your number or they size you up. I mean, I'm telling you, you know. That's what usually happens in those games. It's not like a lot of, it's not like you just get beat up. You can get beat. Like when we talk football, for instance, the line usually beats you up. Used to be, not so much now. Defense used to be more dominant, not so much now. Sometimes just smarts is the difference. That's the difference between Mahomes and Shannon's, Kyle Shannon's. Difference between one guy got 3 rings and the other guy got two close losses. That's all. Most of them were back in the day. I think NC State back in the day. Anytime NC State goes, that's always a Cinderella because no one sees that coming. And most of them from back in the day. That's the one good thing about March Madness. There's always that chance that underdog will come out on top. So, but anyway. Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, they were. But I don't really, revisit it too much because I liked it for that time. But the thing about with college basketball is, again, I'm not really that deep in it per se until we get to a particular point because it's just kind of stalemate. And I've told you before, and I'll say it again: losing guys to 1 year or so or less has made college basketball kind of like second fodder until you get to the, you know, tourney time. There are some players that, obviously you'll see some people and you'll remember, but it ain't the way it used to be. It never will be. I'm not mad because, hey, if you should be able to come out, if you can play, skip going to college, come to the NBA. Ain't got no problem with that. But it's taking its toll. It takes its toll because when you don't get those guys, you might think it's crazy to say this, but when you didn't get LeBron 20 plus years ago, that's a loss of 20 years because it's never, you don't have the competition. You just don't have it. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Because at this stage he'd be everything Von Miller couldn't be. Um the only reason why he'd leave Dallas because a couple things they don't think they can't win with him. And then they also don't want to pay him that kind of bag. Yeah, who wouldn't want him? I like the way he played. It's the problem that he runs into. There's two things. Don't compare him to my cousin Lawrence Taylor because that was a whole different era, different execution. And he welcomed against everybody. Michael feast on scrub quarterbacks with no running game and janky offensive linemen. Micah don't do much against when you put some wood on his you know how you can shift on him. Ain't much there. He don't do that against Frisco. He don't do it against top tier teams. Played against the Bills, they ran him out the building. So, I think he can play and I think he can look great. It depends on whose style he's playing with. Think he'd be good with the Bills. I think he would be a steal with the Steelers because the way he moves around. He's one of those kind of guys that there's a lot of upside to him, but he has to understand he's still a youngster. He still got growing pains, and sooner or later the league's gonna figure him out. You know, so. But yeah, I mean, he's one of those cats that That's what I'm saying. Big games with teams who not put wood to him. Yeah, he was because Jordan Love was like this, holding the ball, looking around. I'm like, where you at, Michael Parsons? You supposed to be Mister. He just like this. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what are you doing? You know. And he never shows up in big games. He get contained by y'all. Y'all embarrassed him. Frisco embarrasses him. I'm like, really? So he's athletic. He's a freak, but he's one of those cats that, yeah, if he doesn't, you know, he will be like a one trick pony, flash in the pan. And ironically, playing for Dallas. I'm like, that was hilarious. He's like, ain't no pass rush coming. He's like he's on Gilligan's Island. Like when he threw that ball to your tight end and dude was wide open, I was like, oh my God, the cameraman only spotted. I'm like, what the heck? Mike McCarthy, what are y'all doing? Dude got behind y'all. I'm like, unless that's, unless that's Kelsey with Brandon Moss speed or something. How did that happen? Yeah, y'all tore they behind up. Y'all tore they butt up. Like I said, y'all gonna be all right. And y'all don't get to beat up on Dallas every year, but you'll be beating them because I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, you will be Super Bowl bound. That was embarrassing. You put a clinic on that butt. Skip Bayless was crying and Stephen A. Smith was smirking. I was like, same old Cowboys. Josh Jacobs is a beast. Okay. In another era, another time, I'd say Hall of Fame bound on about when his day's done. But nobody don't care about running backs. But he hits holes quick. And the Raiders didn't want to pay him. He can fly. Yeah, you got a good upgrade. You got a great upgrade there. You're gonna be all right. I think y'all make a run this year, maybe a little bit further than last year, maybe around the same. And then next year, the year after this one, I think you start thinking Super Bowl again. I do. Because I think that y'all going to be able to come up. And I say that because I don't think both, they do. And that's why I ain't got no respect for them. Um, I say this because I think that I said Frisco and Philly got one more year. This one of y'all better go Super Bowl again or get it right. If you don't, you're gonna give it up next year. Yeah. So I like Josh Jacobs. Well, the NFL's treating running backs like, yeah, yeah. And coach can be on the hot seat. That's what I'm saying. You got the running back you want. That's a huge one for Jalen Hurts. That's huge. Best if he's healthy and motivated. And since he ain't, it's good to have a Barkley back in Philly. I had to think about that for a moment. The Giants suck. And Dabo don't know what he's doing as a coach. They got exposed bad last year. Only deadly is if they can still work play action. I don't know how deadly it is because he done taken a lot of beating. I mean, Derrick Henry is a little bit long in the tooth now. We're gonna see. We will see. But I mean, they should be really good. But we got to see what that means as far as money time. Money time's a whole different thing. They were dark horse last year. It's just that Deshaun been so rusty and out of sorts, and then they went and got Flacco. I mean, if they get the quarterback position correct, yeah. Because Copeland's a beast on defense. They got the running game. They got the pieces to be a threat. They just got to get the most important position correct. That's their problem. I don't know. Yeah, his injury was hard to watch, but so was watching Deshaun Watson just kind of, you know, bad as Chubb's injury was, they're inconsistent on the quarterback position is even scarier. So that's how I look at them. But yeah, they were talent wise, they could be really a threat. I mean, really. Yeah. He's still young, but when you lose 2 or 3 years of your career, and most people barely only thing they remember him as playing full time for Houston. And if we're being honest, Preak and Prime was when he got into the AFC Championship game with Houston blew to Kansas City. That's really his last full. It's been a minute. He got suspended for 1 year, then he was out part of another, and then he was hurt. So it's like 3 years, really. Yeah, but if you play for a dog team, people ain't gonna remember. And he's kind of dying in Cleveland. No cameras going there. So, um, uh, yeah, he did good. I mean, look, we're gonna find out this coming year, okay? He made some boneheaded choices. I mean, they should have beat Frisco. I mean, I know you got robbed and jobbed against Dallas, but you should have beat Frisco. But um, you can't do all this trickeration. Sooner or later, you gotta use some common sense and you know, tell Dan Campbell, take a cue from Andy Reid. Sooner or later, you gotta buckle down and keep it simple. Because if you keep blowing opportunities, you're gonna be just like Kyle Shanahan. And we know Detroit don't get to too many NFC championship games. They're not. So just be smarter. That's all. So yeah, of course I was gonna touch up on that. I thank you. But I said they're gonna be bringing anybody in the Hall of Fame. And you saw what I said. Trey Young's gonna be there in about 12, 15 years. You'll see. I mean, because this is what they're setting it up for. They just gonna basically be like Oprah. You get in, you get in, you get in. I mean, that's what they're setting up. Vince is close because he did have a window where he was something else, but was he ever the best player? He was the most exciting player. I'll give you that for a couple of half years. I'll say you can make the case from part of 99 to about 0102. You can make that case, but was he the best player? No, but he was his most exciting. He had an excitement aura about him. But he's a great example of a guy who had top tier, just didn't have the mindset. That's all. Chauncey was a journeyman. He got to Detroit, came a big, but it wasn't like he was great. No one argued about Chauncey Billups in the same breath with Stockton. Tell me what you mean I'm becoming watered down. Holla. Tell me why. I want to know. LaMarcus? LaMarcus? Look, I like LaMarcus, but he ain't no Hall of Famer. I mean, he had some good moments, but I still remember that playoff series he had. Oh, it's been that way. Well, I did my thing when I said about Yao Ming going on with Shaq and Iverson. I don't care if people disagree with me, and it ain't nothing racial. I just didn't think Yao Ming was a Hall of Famer, and I sure as heck didn't think he should have gone with Shaq and Iverson. That's one of them Adam Silver productions, though. But and I'm saying, well, if this is the case, bring Robert Ory in, okay? Bring him on through, because I don't know what your criteria. Yeah, crossover, but that don't mean he was Hall of Fame. There's a difference between, uh, you know, I mean, Jason Williams had crossover, and he had crossover, but he ain't no Hall of Famer. I'm not hating on Yao. I just don't think he was a Hall of Famer. I know it's not a popular opinion. See, I know that what I catch if I say anything about Yao Ming, I'm a hater. If I say somebody name, I'm a hater. I'm not allowed to be a black man and talk about people that I just don't necessarily think were great. He had some moments, but last I checked, did the Rockets get to the finals? Did I hear him and Trace McGrady say they were going to be the new Kobe and Shaq? Yeah, he won. He had some all-star games where he had more votes than Shaq because China gave him a lot more. But does that mean that he was that guy? Uh, I don't know about all that. Jokic is the man. I ain't know about no y'all. I ain't never heard nobody gonna say Yao Ming is a top 10 center. I'm hearing Jokic being pushed past Moses Malone and knocking on Hakeem Olajuwon's door. I know that. Just like with Kalen Clark, I go by W's and L's. He could play, but does that? I don't feel that. But it wasn't great though. I didn't look at him as great. I don't think that the Rockets got enough out of what they had, and I'm just gonna say that. Him and Steve Franchise, they underachieved. Him and Trace McGrady underachieved. That's all I can say. And I think that he became good. I don't think he became great. That's all I'm saying. But there are gonna be people that we just disagree on. That's it. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's, it's standard. Um, I don't know. That's a toss up. That's kind of tough. That's debatable. If I did a video about that, I don't know. That's a debatable one. And I'm gonna say this too, just to put in perspective. Y'all will be battling second tier centers, okay? Yeah, he'll fit in with the second tier. He not first tier. But if you want to debate him against second tier centers, Zoe put up about 18, 19 points. Zoe was doing what Dwight Howard did, except he wasn't as dominant. That's the difference. But he could match that. And Shaq and what else did he do over Shaq? What's the ring count? What's the career count? He didn't give Tim Duncan buckets. What's his career count? How many Western Conference Finals did he get to? How many NBA Finals did he get to? That's all I'm caring about. He was big on potential, and he had some moments, but no one sits around debating him amongst the best. Now, like I said, we can debate him amongst second tier centers. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You know, I'll give you that. He's in this second tier class. He was better in college, and he had a good career. The best chance I saw, though, what it could have been is when that All Star game back in '87 with him and Magic. Oh, that was magical. That was magical. I think that's the best I ever saw him play on the pro level in that All Star game with Magic. For his size and, he had a little bit of outside shot. He was agile. He could move, you know, but it just didn't work with him and Elijah one. And he got hurt, and his career would never match. His college career, though, was something else. Yeah, they were marginal. They weren't, and they got to the finals, but they really weren't a threat. They ain't Robinson and Duncan, okay? Mm-mm, mm. He's better though. He can shoot. He got movement, and he's coming along in a time where he's allowed to kind of, kind of like finesse the scene. So he's not just as awkward and jangly. He really has you know, he got a chance to really do some things. Just saying. When we got a chance to really be something though. I remember Ralph so well it's not even funny. My buddies loved him in college. He was big. They need that. That they get a point guard, they get a um you know, I have to wait that whole thing plays itself out. People are acting like it's the end of the world. We'll see. Yeah, I know that's what they're pushing the agenda. So I guess you ain't got to worry about no more Pintos or Pacers or no old Gremlins, and yeah, that's what they're pushing for. That's what they want. I'm waiting for cars to drive themselves. So when you go to DMV, you just basically show your license and registration, but you don't even gonna have to know how to drive no more. They'll be doing all the driving for you. That's the agenda. Yeah. I like them, and I think they have their place. They should be an option. I don't think that the end all be all. Unless you're gonna be like the Jetsons or something, then you can fly in space with it. But yeah, it's yeah, after a while it's gimmicky. I rode in some Teslas and stuff, and but hey, that's what's up. You know, it's a lot of politics that goes on. Politics. So I don't really, you know. Anyway, you think I'm gonna forget LeBron with the tummy ache and AD got hit in the eyeball and he can't stay up talking about it. Well, they're already racist. So, as a matter of fact, the AI profile machine, I don't know if you heard about it, they did racial profiling already. They got to find a way to retool it. All that stuff is done on purpose. And I got a feeling they'll use another virus or something to come out and slow down and then initiate what they want. That's what they're up to. They're going to have a chip in every neck and they're going to have a way of from getting people. And it's going to be like Matrix. That's what they want. Yep. But it's already been scary, those. I tell them all the time the only AI I like is Allen Iverson. That's the only AI I kept up with. But yeah, yeah. Government. That's what they want. That's what they want. I don't know how more scary it is than when you had people getting lynched 100 years ago, and they'd have them like in trees, and I mean, it's always been scary. Everything with cyberspace and everything that we get has already been documented 40, 50 years ago. They just been sitting on technology. They give you the pieces. They already have when they've had counterintelligence, when they've had people's phones hacks, machines hacks, all that, you know. I mean, it's information being passed as we talk, as we go through stuff. So, you know, put it like this. Don't be no more scared than you would have been under regular circumstances because they've always been scary. The people who go without never have to worry about nothing because they never knew. So that's is what they do. You a sports fan. What do you think analytics is about? Think about it. That should tell you all you need to know right there. If you're a sports fan, you see analytics, that's scary. They tell you that they put pitches on a pitch count, shooters can shoot, football player, they got it all. That's what they do. You have generated everything. That's what they do with your music. That's what they do with your arts. That's what they're doing. They make a movie and they can make Rob De Niro look 30 years younger. They can robot all that. They can robot characters. That's what they do. That's they playing. They're doing etch and sketch. That's all it is. Profiling. And it looks, on one hand, the technology is like, woo. On the other hand, it's like the end of you. That's why when they have these eclipses and stuff, that's why people get worried about the wiring and all that stuff. And like what they doing. So okay. Break this down, Jonathan Matrix. Somebody's up here. All right, well, I don't see nobody coming back, so I'm gonna go ahead and guess I'll close it out. It's like everybody went quiet. I hope they didn't get taken away by the uh everything that's going on with the eclipse. But anyway, appreciate everyone that showed up tonight. Stay safe, be careful out there. Keep me posted on what happens with the eclipse. Wishing the best. Appreciate everyone coming through. Peace and the best. Catch you next time. All right, I'm out.